Assalamualaikum. Today, let us do revision on Module 1. It's about simple present tense and pronouns. Today, you will learn to identify the personal pronouns for the nouns correctly, as well as you will learn on how to use simple present tense in sentences. Look at this one. Personal pronouns. Okay, we use personal pronouns to replace the name of the subject in a sentence. For example, the boy. Okay, for example, we have the boy as subject. So, if we want to talk about the boy for the second time, we can replace the boy with he. Okay, kata ganti nama, pronouns. And if the subject is city, when we want to replace the name, we can call city as she. What about the cat? In general, we call the cat as it. But in some cases, we can say she or he for the cat if the cat has a special name. Okay, so look at this one. We have subject and object. Okay, we can use personal pronouns as subject or object in the sentence. Okay, look at this example. She gives them cookies every week. Okay, look at she here. Is she here is subject or object? I know that you already learned that we start the sentence with subject. Okay, so we call she here as subject pronouns. Okay, so subject pronouns can be I, saya, you, awak, we, kami, they, mereka, he, dia, lelaki, she, dia, perempuan, it, ia, haiwan atau benda. Okay. We use all these pronouns as subject pronouns, but when you want to use pronouns as object, we have to use this form. Okay, for I, you have to use me. Okay, look at this example. She give them. Okay, we use them. We can't say she gives they. It's wrong because this form, all these are used for subject. Okay, if you want to use the pronouns as object, you have to use this form. Okay, so please take note about this. Let's identify the pronouns. Okay, we have the nouns here, we have the subject here, so we can replace the subject with pronouns. Okay, for example, Alisa, the pronouns for Alisa is she. Ali and his friends, what is the pronouns for Ali and his friends? They. What about the boy? Okay, the boy here without S is singular, seorang sahaja. Okay, tetapi apabila boys ada S, ia menunjukkan ramai atau lebih dari seorang. So this is singular and this is plural. Okay, so for the boy, the pronouns is he. What about the boys? They. The book, it's Madam Alia and I. Okay, and I. So we. Okay, we. What is the subject? Okay, let's look at this sentence. The boy writes an email to his pen pal. So we are talking about the boy here. So the boy is the subject. So what is the verb? Writes is the verb. Write what? And email is the object. So we have S, V, O here. Okay. Subject, verb, and object. Okay. There are some of sentence pattern, but this is the simpler one. S, V, and O. Okay, so look at the next one. Okay, this one is singular subject, so we add S for the verb. But when it comes to plural subject, look here, kalau ada S dekat nouns, maksud dia ramai, lebih dari seorang. So, the singular or plural? It's plural. Okay, so for the plural subject, we just use base form of word here. Okay, base form, kata dasar. So, tiada penambahan S. The boys writes an email. Okay, so in conclusion, when the subject is singular, we add S, ES, and IES to the verb. And for the plural subject, no need to add anything. Okay, we just use its base word. For example, play, catch, fly. How do we change the verb? Look here. There are some rules for you to follow. Okay, the first one is for most verbs, we just add S like this. Okay, play become plays, cook cooks, sing sings, eat eats. You just simply add S. But for some verbs, for example, the verb with SS at the end of the verb and CH, SH, and X, we add ES. Okay, we add ES for the verb. And for some other verbs, we can add IES. Okay, fry, we remove the Y, it becomes IES. Okay, for the verb with Y at the end of the verb, we replace it with IES. Okay, let's do some exercise so that you can understand this thing clearly. Look at this one. Subject pronouns. Okay, for the subject pronouns he, she, and it, we add S, ES, or IES for the verb. But for I, you, we, and they, no need to add anything for the verb. We just use its base form. Okay, let's read this example. He reads the book. She tries to swim. It catches the fish. Look here. He, she, and it are used with the verb that we add S, IES, or ES. Okay, now look at this one. I read the book. You fry some nuggets. We catch some butterflies. They sing a song. Okay, look at the verb. We use its base word without adding anything after the verb. So you have to memorize this, okay? Simple present tense. Okay, so we normally use simple present tense when we would talk about facts. Okay, fakta. For example, the chicken lays eggs. The earth moves around the sun. The boys live in Slim River. Okay, when we talk about facts, then we use simple present tense. And we also use it when we talk about habitual actions. Okay, perbuatan yang kita sering lakukan. For example, I wake up at 6 o'clock every day. Sheila always walks to school. Mira usually plays chess with me. The children sometimes watch TV together. The boy never talks to me. Did you still remember about all the words that I've underlined here? We have always, usually, sometimes, and never. What do we call this? Yes, it's adverb of frequency. This word shows how often you do an activity. Okay? When we use adverbs of frequency, we will write in simple present tense. Simple present tense is used for instructions. Okay? For example, listen carefully and take the correct answer. Please complete your task. Okay? Semasa memberi arahan, kita menggunakan simple present tense. These are the common mistakes while using simple present tense. Can you tell me what's the mistakes done at the first sentence? She eats an apple a day. First of all, you have to look at the subject, whether it is singular or plural. She, so it's singular. If the subject is singular, what happens to the verb? Yes, you have to put S for the verb. Okay, so the correct one is she eats an apple a day. Look at number 2. The boys, singular or plural? We have S at the end of the nouns. It shows that the subject is plural. So, what happened to the verb? We have to use its base word. So the base word for rides is ride without S. The boys ride their bikes to school. Look at the third one. The girl do her homework. What's wrong here? Look at the girl. Singular or plural? Singular. So what happened to the verb? The verb should be added with S, but we don't add S for do. So we add ES. It will become the girl does her homework. What about this one? The girls. Okay, the previous one is singular, but when we have S here, so it will become plural. So when it is plural, what happened to the verb? Okay, we can't use has. Okay, the correct one here is have. Hash A V E. Okay, have. So the girls have a new phone. Okay, maybe they share the phone. Okay, the next one. Charlie and I plays football. What happened to this? Can you add S for the verb when the subject is plural? No, it's wrong. You have to remove the S here. So the correct one is Charlie and I play football. It's time for you to complete this task. Okay, look at the instruction. Read and write the nationalities. Okay, if you're still unclear about this, maybe you can watch the video on our previous lesson that discuss about this. Okay, so that you can answer this correctly. Okay, look at number 1. I'm from Malaysia. She's Malaysian. See here? Okay, for this activity, you have to use the correct personal pronouns for the picture. Okay, if there is a girl, you use she. If there is a boy, what is it? If there are 2 kids, what do we call them? They or we? What about this one? Okay, so you have to refer to the picture and use the correct personal pronouns to tell the nationalities. You can choose whether I, you, we, they, he, she, it. And then you continue telling the nationalities based on the country that stated here. Okay. This one, you have to rewrite the sentences replacing the words in bold with the word in the box. Okay. For this one, you have to replace the nouns with the correct personal pronouns. Okay. We've learned about this. Sally and I, the pronouns is we. What about John? What is the pronouns for John? Okay. Please use these words to replace the nouns with the personal pronouns. Okay, please do this number 1 to number 5. Write in neat handwriting. Okay, look at this one. Read and circle A or B. Okay, for this one, you have to use simple present tense. And when you want to write the verb, you have to look at the subject, whether it is singular or plural. If the subject is singular, you have to put s, es, or ies for the verb. But when the subject is plural, you have to add nothing. Okay? You just use the base word. Okay. So just choose an answer and circle it. Okay? Please complete number 1 to number 4. It starts number 4. What are the children doing? Look and write. Okay. We've learned about this in our previous lesson with the topic Let's Play. You can watch this video again to learn the sentence pattern for simple present continuous tense. Okay? So we use she's sleeping. Dia sedang tidur. Okay. What about number 2? What's the subject here? What is the subject pronouns? The picture shows a boy. So a boy, we call it he or she. Okay, he. So he's what? Look at the given verb here. Play football. But for present continuous tense, you have to add ing after the verb. So it will be he's playing football. Okay, so please do the same for number 3 and 4. For task 5, you have to read and answer the questions. Okay, for example, look at question number 1. Where is Tiago from? So you have to find a keyword here, from. Can you find it in the text? The keyword is here. So, can you answer number 1? Yes. Just have to write the answer here. Okay, so all the answers are here. So you have to read and then find the correct answer. Later on, you have to write the answer correctly. It's the last activity on page 11. Okay, you have to say the countries and the nationalities. Okay, once you can say it correctly, please tick. Okay, maybe you can ask someone near you to check on your pronunciation and the spelling so that once you can say it correctly, then only you can tick. Do not tick if you can't say it correctly. Okay, maybe you can ask anyone around you, maybe your parents, your brother or sister to help you completing this task. It's the same for number 2, say the activity. And also number 3, you just have to read this, okay? Say it correctly. So it's the end of our lessons. Now we have completed Module 1. So today, I'm sure you know how to identify the personal pronouns for the nouns, and you know how to use simple present tense correctly in sentences. Okay, please complete all the tasks that I've given you. All the best and see you in Module 2.